You know, for a time in the NBA offseason that usually is not filled with any type of activity, news, rumors, anything of that nature, I got to tell you, this has been one of the most chaotic and hectic things I think I've ever witnessed in an NBA offseason. Today was even crazier than yesterday. You have Joel Embiid going on an epic Twitter rant talking about Sixers fans and Ben Simmons and false media narratives. And then on top of that, you have other media reports coming out and getting flat out exposed. Let me tell you, man, Philadelphia sports is a complete whirlwind. You never know what to expect the next day. I don't know if I love it or hate it or maybe a little bit of both at this point, but man, there is so much to get into. Let's talk about it. Perfect. What is going on, everybody? RB here. Welcome back on into Philly Take with RB, where we constantly talk Philadelphia sports. You know what to do. Drop a like on the video, sub to the channel if you're new, hit the notification bell so you're always updated. Check out the merch store and consider becoming a channel member for exclusive perks. We literally have no time to waste. Today was absolutely crazy. We obviously know what happened yesterday with the whole Ben Simmons thing. We covered it all here on the channel. And I didn't even think it could, increase to another level. But today was absolutely insane. And I wanted to wait till later in the day to even make this because I didn't know what to expect. Let me just say before we get into it, man, these are my personal opinions. There's going to be some good. There's going to be some bad. First and foremost, I am a Sixers fan. So at the end of the day, I want to win. And I'm here to give my opinions and thoughts. But, I love hearing what everybody else has to think as well. But anyway, we start off with Joel Embiid. And we'll start off with Joel Embiid because everything ties around this. So a report came out sometime mid this morning. And, we got the detective on the scene. Shout out to everybody that was hitting me up on Twitter. If you guys aren't following me on Twitter yet, at RB Philly Take, we talk everything behind the scenes. So go be sure to follow me there. But a report came out from Jeff something. I'm sorry, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Jeff Ziggett, if that's his name. I don't know who he works for. But this came out and he said the Sixers reportedly had to pick between Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, and their rift had been escalating. A person with knowledge of the situation told USA Today. All right, so he works for USA Today. And in response to that, Joel Embiid decided to quote tweet it, and he goes, sources, quote, "Trust me, bro. Stop using my name to push people's agendas. I love and hate drama. I love playing with Ben. Stats don't lie. He's an amazing player, and we all didn't get the job done. It's on me personally. I hope everyone is back because we know we're good enough to win." And honestly, my first thoughts is like, did the Sixers really go out and send Joel Embiid on duty to try to make amends here and try to make things look from a PR perspective like they are better than they are after all the damage and all the flooding that was done yesterday? Is that what we're going to have here? And then Joel followed that up, and he goes, "From my own experience, y'all have no idea how much this media makes up stuff for followers, and shame on you for believing them." And everybody started to go into a crazy sense, like, what is going on here? Is Ben Simmons not getting traded? Like, what is going on? Let me give my thoughts overall, okay? So I think first and foremost, the whole thing about Joel Embiid and all these people that have been saying he's a bad leader and he threw Simmons under the bus and this and that, I think all of it has been overblown. And here's what I mean. I don't think Joel Embiid hates Ben Simmons. I don't think he ever did, and I don't think their relationship ever got as bad as people made it out to be. I think that Ben Simmons probably hasn't communicated with him much this summer, but I don't think it's to a point where Joel Embiid goes, yeah, I hate Ben Simmons. I hate him with all my guts. He probably just, isn't really accustomed to playing with him on the court anymore. But what stands out to me from this statement here, again, is that Joel Embiid, man, is such a leader. In terms of the accountability factor, it's just absolutely beautiful, man. The fact that this guy can come out here and, he can really, take a hit. He said it's on me personally. And he really took accountability for someone that honestly, in my eyes, does not deserve it. And he tried to make things, act like they're all right. He tried to be the bigger guy. I don't, buy into this that he really wants him back. I do think Joel kind of sees the writing on the wall as well. But for him to do that at this point in time, I think it speaks volumes to Joel Embiid as a character, and then in terms of him saying you don't have an idea of how much the media makes stuff up, I agree 100%. And we've been hearing a lot of different rumors and stuff, and we talk about it even though I don't like to believe it until we hear from the top sources. But yeah, I mean, it's gotten to a point where, they just like to throw everything out, try to, see what sticks to the wall, and then they run with it. They run with it, but definitely interesting comments out of Joel Embiid. And at the end of the day, I just think, the writing is on the wall. It's just the relationship cannot be repaired in a basketball sense. But I don't think they have any physical beef. And for the people that say he called him out, Joel Embiid didn't even say his name. He said the truth, the passed up a dunk, and, the game shifted momentum. But in addition to that, Joel Embiid then puts this out. I haven't forgotten, but 2 years ago, I got booed. People in Philly wanted me to be traded. I even shushed them. Only the real ones didn't, but I just put the work in that offseason to be better because I knew I wasn't playing up to my potential. Philly fans, y'all also got to be better. Now, there's things I like and there's things I don't like. For him to say Philly fans have to be better, he's almost on a Danny Green level in my sense. And you know what? It's absolutely idiotic. Again, I am a Sixers fan, and I always try to speak my truth how I see it. It's not targeted on one player. I think that was an idiotic statement by Joel Embiid. Now, on the contrary, let me be fair. Are Philly fans harsh? Do they get on their guys a lot and a lot more than other fan bases? Of course they do, but that is Philadelphia. That is who Philadelphia is. That's our reputation. And, it speaks volumes in terms of accountability. Like, we may get on you when you're doing bad. We're going to let you hear it. But at the end of the day, when you're doing well, when you're coming out here and balling and showing us that you care about playing in this city, we are going to love you to death like no other. Okay? And I feel with all of this eruption on social media today and Sixers fans trying to be painted out as the bad person here, I just feel like people continually forget how much support we gave a guy like Ben Simmons for years. We went to literal war for this guy, talking about Rookie of the Year, talking about he should be up here in the upper echelon of these young players. We went to war for this guy despite the fact he couldn't shoot a basketball. That is the kind of unconditional love we will show you. And honestly, all we got to do, is see that you care. And Joel embraces that himself, which is why I thought it was an idiotic part of the statement. Ben Simmons hasn't shown any body language. He hasn't said anything publicly about Philadelphia. Those are the little things that this city loves. And we can be harsh sometimes, I will agree. But you know what, man? I just didn't like that. But the part that stands out to me from everything today is what he said right here. Read it again. Only the real ones didn't, but I just put the work in that offseason to be better because I knew I wasn't playing up to my potential. The people that wanted to trade Joel Embiid after he shushed the crowd, that was way overblown in my opinion. But what did Joel do anyway? He worked his tail off. He became a better player, and he took it to heart. And he follows up here by saying, for clarity, I love the criticism. I love when I'm told I can't do something. It makes me work harder to prove everyone wrong, but not everyone is built like that. Well, a lot of players are built like that. And, you choose this profession as an NBA player. You're making 560 times more than the average Samaritan. And guess where that money comes from? It comes from the people that go to the games. It comes from the people that buy season tickets and buy merchandise. You saw my merch yesterday of Benson. It comes from the people that pay for everything that goes in. The people pay for a lot of this, and we support and we're diehard rooters of our team. And you know what? If we want to boo because we don't like it, that's on us. Don't play the sport then. You signed up for this. You're living the dream life. I mean, come on, man. But you know what? Joel Embiid took it to heart. He worked better. He's always embraced that MO. And what did he do? He came out and played at an MVP caliber level this year. And we just have this unconditional love, and he embraces it, with the gestures and everything. That's why we love the guy. So, Ben Simmons hasn't shown us that. He's had the one offensive flaw and liability, and we've continued to try to hope and believe it would get better, but he doesn't show any willingness or sign of doing so, other than videos that actually show him doing it in the offseason, but doesn't come out and do it when it counts. And you know what? And we're allowed to be frustrated with something that is holding our team back, from getting past the second round of the playoffs. So that's really how I feel about that. I think Joel was spot on in some of his things. Other things I don't agree completely, but I respect Joel because of his presence in this city. And Joel says things. Guess what he did? He signed a Supermax. He's going to be here, man. He's committed. Danny Green talked his stuff. He's here. He's committed. He re-signed. Ben Simmons, we haven't heard a peep out of him, and that's just how I feel about it. But anyway, getting to the last stuff, the report from Tyrese, Maxey yesterday, Jason Dumas, we talked about it. This was yesterday. He said there was a high chance that Tyrese will be a part of any Ben Simmons trade. Rich Paul wants his clients out of Philadelphia. And then he followed up yesterday by saying that Philadelphia organizations had planned on partnering with Maxey on charitable events, and they were told to cancel them, and Paul would not like Maxey to grow roots. This led to everybody coming at Rich Paul even more, calling him this and that. And today, Kendrick Perkins, of all people, who had reported weeks back that Simmons would not report to camp and was thrown in the fire for it, he came out and said this. And by the way, I don't think he works for Clutch or is represented by them, but he has close ties with those people. And we know all the players in the league that are represented by Clutch and are close with Perk. And he said the Maxey news is false. Rich Paul never said he wanted him out of Philly. If he's involved in a trade because of his own value, that's another story. Don't carry on because I'm not done. And Jason Dumas immediately rescinded this. And I told everybody yesterday on the live stream, don't take this at face value. This is what I'm talking about. Whether it's Tyrese Maxey, Ben Simmons, whatever, we have to think sometimes at face value. You can't just take it at face value. We have to think about it at face value and think and realize that some of this stuff does not make sense. He said Tyrese Maxey's excited about this upcoming year, as is Rich Paul and the Sixers. Paul doesn't want Tyrese out of Philly. However, the Ben Simmons situation is totally separate. This dude has a verified check on Twitter and blatantly lied to the people. And, that could have caused a lot of damage in the Sixers organization. Tyrese Maxey could have had to respond to that. He's also represented by Clutch, and it could have made for a really awkward situation, even more as someone who I think is friends, at least, better friends with Ben Simmons. And Jason Dumas, I can't even say it on here, but that was a piece of crap move, man. That's just absolutely terrible. And, a lot of these lower reporters have been trying to do that lately, but for someone with a verified check, it's just absolutely inexcusable. You suck at your profession, okay? And I remember last year he tried to talk about a fake trade with Ben Simmons and LaMelo Ball or something like that. It's just absolutely unbelievable. And this is exactly why the national media is losing some of its global presence. You know what I mean? Because of stuff like that. I think Jason Dumas works for Bleacher Report or Fox or one of them, but it's just absolutely unbelievable. And I'm just trying to tell you guys, don't always take things for exactly how they're quoted, man. Think about it a little bit. Tyrese Maxey with Ben Simmons leaving, it opens him up for a starting job. It opens up a young kid in his 20s who's showing a lot of dog, and even though he's represented by Rich Paul, he's being told to stop charity events. That's really the storylines we have to run with. It's terrible, man. And I'm glad it didn't get any further. And it's funny, you had to get exposed by Kendrick Perkins, who, on our last point, I thought was actually doing well until he put out this. They gave Embiid the estate this summer, and Ben feels like he's been a pro through trade rumors and a half-assed commitment from the team. Perk, you actually had a couple things right. You're an idiot too, okay? A half-assed commitment. How about $177 freaking million to get better at your profession? Are you serious, man? Come on, Perk. You were on a roll until that. You give me $500,000, I'm out on a beach, not even paying attention to you. $177 million. You got 4 years left on your contract. We're asking you to shoot a basketball. Let's go play football and not know how to run. Let's go play baseball and not know how to swing a bat. Come on now. But man, so much going on today. That's pretty much a summation of my thoughts. Media getting exposed. A lot of this, a lot of that, chit chat here and there. But we finally got some accurate representations today. I think Joel Embiid at the end of the day is just trying to help play it up. Obviously, now the move and it all lies back in the Sixers' hands. We're going to have to wait and see what happens, but a really, really hectic day on Twitter. And, you know, I respect everybody's thoughts. I'm a Sixers fan first and foremost, and I want to win, and I hope we make the best move going forward. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know all yours down below in the comments section. Give me your entire thoughts on everything. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.